Hey guys, welcome back to Mortgage Prequal Basics for Agents. This is part 2B, and it's self-employed borrowers. So just want to give you, you're going to hear people are self-employed, they're doing this, they're doing that, and in the meantime, we got to find out if they're good candidates to get a loan. Says you guys don't need to waste your time. Again, we can figure this out really quickly, but you're going to be out there. Maybe they're not ready to talk to a lender yet, so you can just probe. Remember, we're talking about the big three here. It's credit, it's income, it's assets. Those are the three categories that basically everything related to getting a loan from the borrower's perspective involves those three. Of course, you need an appraisal. Of course, there could be title issues. But when you meet someone, a fresh lead, none of that. The appraisal's irrelevant. The title's irrelevant. It's just the big three. So remember, the big three. So we're talking about income, self-employed borrowers. They can be a little juicy. I love these. The more complicated, the better. Because these are the time when Hillhurst exceeds, where other lenders scratch their heads, wonder how we got the deal done. Being a CPA, I'm always here and give the staff technical advice on squeezing out as much loan income as we can to get approved for a loan on those difficult deals. And I know we've been there and with many of you, and always come through and get them done. Love working with you guys. So let's advance the slide here and talk about this. So first step, need a new buyer. Of course, you got to find out, ask the question, are you salaried or self-employed? And we're talking about the self-employed borrowers today. So here's the thing, when you hear self-employed, it basically means a lot of things. It could be a sole proprietor who files a Schedule C for income tax purposes on 1040 tax return. A lot of you guys are filing Schedule Cs. You haven't got up there to make it worth doing a corporation yet, but you're doing a Schedule C. Bottom line, it could be a sole proprietor, it could be a S corporation, it could be a C corporation, it could be a limited liability company. You name it, it comes in all kinds of size, shapes, and flavors, and they're all fun and good. But it all boils down to basically what the lenders are looking for is they want to establish a 2-year history. Now, they're definitely more complicated doing self-employed, but again, they're not that hard if you know what you're doing. So again, the lenders, like if you watch the previous video, I talked about having a 2-year history. Same thing applies to self-employed borrowers. But so if you meet someone, the guy is a hot shot, and he's got good credit, money for the down payment. You say, oh, where do you work? I used to work at XYZ law firm, and I don't know what my fetish with attorneys is today, but whatever. And now I'm going to go. I started my own practice last month. That's not going to fly for getting a loan. They need a 2-year history. Just because he had a job at XYZ law firm getting a salary doesn't mean he's going to have a successful practice that's going to generate enough money for him to pay that mortgage. He has to have a history. So always looking for, ask those questions, and the red flag should come up right away if the guy makes a statement like that, or the client says, hey, I worked for a company, I started my own business, or if maybe they'll say, hey, I've been self-employed for the last 10 years. I show a lot of income on my tax return. But that's the second red flag, or not red flag, just the other thing to be concerned about is when they say they make a lot of money or they have high income, they might be talking about the gross revenue and not the net. Lenders look at the net. Sure, they can add back depreciation and there's a ding for the meals, entertainment, and all those sorts of things. But for the most part, they work off the net. So, I've talked to guys telling me they're making $500,000 a year, and I come in, I see the tax returns, and sure enough, it's got $500,000 a year in gross revenue on their corporate tax return, but they've written everything off, and the net might be $50,000. So you're not going to qualify for much. Okay, so another thing that makes self-employed borrowers tougher is that they have a little bit more discretion on what's tax deductible and what's not tax deductible. Part of the reason of being self-employed is to keep your taxes lower. You have benefits through different types of retirement plans, but who's to say that car expense is really 80% or 85%? Those meals, entertainment with the friends that out for drinks and dinner, it's just a little more so self-employed borrowers are going to be a little bit more aggressive for the most part when it comes to writing off expenses, what's going to have a negative impact on qualifying. So I always got to ask the question about the net. Of course, when you get the tax returns, it's all there. But when lenders, like I said, they're not that concerned with the gross. Here's some basic questions you can ask. How long you've been self-employed as a writer? 5 years, great. If it's 2 or more, you're good. Is your business incorporated, or do you have are you a sole proprietor? That's just general information to see what they know. It doesn't really matter. The lenders don't care. There's no advantage of being, from a lending perspective, to be incorporated or not. But having that basic information as to see how tuned in they are to their business. Have you filed all your tax returns? Maybe they haven't filed in the last couple of years. If so, refer them over. We'll refer them to our CPA side, and we'll get those taxes done and get them ready for a loan, or they can get with their CPA. Bottom line, and the last question, and that's why I put here, your tax returns show substantial income after expenses, just to be crystal clear with them. So anyway, guys, this is real basic. You're going to see if you run into this stuff out there, don't panic. Just call me. It's not that complicated. Just looking for 2 years. Some basic questions here for you to find out how strong this borrower is. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining us. Always great. Stay safe out there. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.